Happy New Year. Is anyone out there? Send me a chat. Okay, I'm just going to look a minute and see if I can figure out how to record this. That's not telling me. Control room. That sounds like something. Nope. Okay, well, I'm just going to get started, and if you're out there, you can give me a little message in the chat room. I think I have it on. Had it on. Okay. Yeah, I knew I'd be fumbling in this. Sorry, guys. Q&A. Okay. Well, I don't know if you're out there or if anyone's listening to me, but I just wanted to say that, I wanted to welcome you to a conversation about what ketosis is, and also the benefits of ketosis and how you can get into ketosis. So I want to mention that I'm not an expert by any means, but I have been becoming very passionate about ketosis, and I've been surrounding myself with experts. I've listened to like 30 different videos in the last 5-6 weeks on YouTube, and I am in continual contact with people who are experts on ketosis, and I find it really fascinating. The thing that fascinated me the most was, I went back to college in the 90s and got a health minor in a major university here in Michigan. And I'm sure that in the 2 A&P classes I had that they taught me about the Krebs cycle and ketones and things like that. I don't remember that. But what I do remember is my nutritional class, and they emphasized over and over how bad fats were for us, and that they caused heart disease and stuff like that. So, that was the education that I was given and that I came away with. I had a few friends about 12, 13 years ago who were doing the Atkins diet, which was, high proteins and fats and very low carbs. And they were having great results with that. I had a friend who weighed about 350 pounds, and he was telling me one day how, oh man, he had such a great result with the Atkins diet. And, I kind of chastised him and said, that's so bad for you, you shouldn't eat fats and stuff like that. And he says, but I was doing really good on it, and so it was like my ignorance about ketosis, my ignorance about fats, I was actually being a health deterrent for people. So I'm really excited to be learning about ketosis, and I'm finding that really it is the native way that we should be eating. And I base that on some videos. I've selected some of the best videos I could find that were short and to the point to put in the group page that some of you have been invited to. And so the biggest one was the Big Fat Lies video, and it's in there. It's about 2 minutes long. I actually put it on the event page today. If you saw that and watched it, it explains that, there was this guy named Keyes back in the 50s who did an experiment and decided that, he had this hypothesis that cholesterol was what was plugging up arteries and causing heart disease. And so he did an experiment. And as it turns out, anything that didn't fit into what he decided his hypothesis should come out to, he threw it out. And so, it's like everybody just took his information and started running with it. So we've been really deceived about what's healthy to eat for the last 50 years. Maybe not deceived, but there's been a whole lot of ignorance about it. And now I see us doing a full circle, because I am hearing that there's more and more conversation about ketosis. The deeper I get into the subject, the more I see that, doctors are coming on board, and the news is getting out in the health fitness world, that ketosis is the way to go. So, Anyway, my story is that somebody shared a video with me about ketosis, and I went in and watched it. And of course, when you go to YouTube, they offer you several other videos along the same subject line. And it happened to be one person had many, many videos there, and I watched probably 10 or 12 of those videos. And I had decided that, hey, I didn't care what I had to do. I wanted the energy that person had, and I wanted the body, the muscular, strong body that person had, and I was going to do what it took to get it. Well, then I was introduced to a whole new concept of what's called exogenous ketones. So let me back up just a little bit to give you some background on ketosis. We are all pretty much trained to eat carbs. We eat sugars, we eat starches. You know, most of our healthy diets it's recommended to eat lean meats and lots of carbs, lots of vegetables, lots of fruits. So we're actually pretty much carb burning machines. And we do this thing where we fill up on carbs, we spike with a lot of energy, and then it drops off after a few hours. We go eat more, and then it drops off. We eat more, and it drops off. So our energy is going up and down all day long. We're feeling good up and down all day long. And what I'm learning is that, you know, that kicks in the insulin getting released so that your cells can actually pull the carbs into your cells for energy. Well, what is different about ketosis is that you're putting fats, good fats into your body and cutting down on the sugars. And when you do that, your body goes into a natural state of ketosis, which it is a natural state for us. Even in the morning, like after we haven't eaten all night, our body kicks into ketosis, you know, and it's supplying fuel to our body that way because we haven't had any carbs or food for many hours when we're sleeping. So it is a natural state, and by our food pyramid, you know, kind of being upside down, we've been burning carbs for so long that we're just used to that. So what happens when you start to burn ketones, because you're eating higher content of healthy fats, some protein, and very little carbs, is that your body does a process where it's releasing ketones through the liver. Ketones are then the fuel for your body and your brain, and they're floating in your bloodstream, and your cells very quickly suck them in for energy. So you're creating, I think I heard it was like 38% more ATP energy in your cells with ketones than you do with carbs and insulin. So that's one of the things. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is you can go on YouTube. I mean, this is such a native state for us, and it's so healthy for us. You can go on YouTube and you can put in ketosis plus cancer, ketosis plus epilepsy, ketosis plus ovarian cystic fibrosis disease, or whatever that's called, epilepsy, brain disorders, schizophrenia, bipolarism. And then also there's a whole lot of content out there about having extra energy and recovery from workout, recovery, long distance runners. I heard that the Tour de France bicyclists last year were all operating on ketones rather than carbs when they were doing that. Not all of them, but you know, a certain team of them were doing that. So bottom line is it's very healthy for you. So how do you get into ketosis? Well, basically, there's a couple of ways to get into ketosis. One is a very, very strict diet of only 75 to 80% fats and 15 to 20% protein, and then 5% carbs. And it takes some people days, it takes some people weeks to actually kick their body over into ketosis. And then all you do is like you eat one banana or one piece of bread or something, and you're knocked right back out of ketosis. So it's a very difficult thing to maintain, although there are several people that I've found on the internet that live in a state of ketosis. Some of them have lived in a state of ketosis for 5 years, others, 5 or 6 years, one person in and out of ketosis for 15 years. And as this conversation grows larger and larger and more people are learning about this, and more people are trying it, you hear more info and more murmuring about it. So the people that are doing it through diet, they have to be very disciplined, very strict, in their diet to maintain that state of ketosis. What has happened that's brand new is South Florida University medical team has come out with a way to create exogenous ketones in a drink mix that you can just stir up and drink, and your body is filled with ketones. And when it does that, it's just readily going into your brain cells, into your muscle cells, all your cells, and providing the fuel that they need to do the job that they do. And so this is very, very exciting to a lot of people. And the more I hear about this, the more exciting it gets. I've heard a story of a nurse who and started using this particular product, and everybody at work noticed that she was like more bubbly, she had more energy, she was, burning off fat, and wanted to know about it. She works in a doctor's group where they have 7 doctors, and you can imagine how many support staff 7 doctors have. Anyway, all 7 doctors are now using this product, and almost all of the medical staff at that clinic are using the same product. We call that product Keto OS. Here's a canister of it. This is like a 30-day supply. It's got a scoop in there, and you just put it in some water, 1 scoop in about 16 ounces of water. Stir it up and drink it, and you've got ketones flowing through your body. It also comes in individual packets, Keto OS on-the-go pack, and you can get a 30-day supply of this. You can get a 15-day supply of this. You can also get a 3-day sample of this if you want to just try it out and see how it tastes and that kind of thing. It's actually the flavor of orange dreamsicle, if you know what that is. A lot of people mix it with LaCroix sparkling water coconut flavored, and it tastes like a pina colada. I often mix it in with iced tea, and to me it's kind of like an Arnold Palmer, drink. So as I'm learning about this, I'm also hearing, from these experts like Dustin Schaefer and Peter Attila on YouTube, Dr. Dominic D'Agostino, and Stephen Finney is another one that has a lot of information out there. So what I'm going to try to do now is switch to some photos, and we'll just go through here. This is my New Year celebration photo to you. How about bacon? Bacon is now good for us on this diet because fatty meats are good for you. They're full of fats, so you can eat bacon. And that's one thing that my friend who used to do the Atkins diet says, I love it because I get to eat bacon and, I have salad dressing on my salads, and, I can eat the fattiest pieces of steak and I love it. Well, yes, you can do that. Salads with avocados. How about this one? Bacon, scrambled eggs, and peppers. Bacon and eggs. Eggs are great. Grass-fed butter. I've done some research on that, and there's natural butter. There's all the fake butter that you don't want. Then there's natural butter, but maybe those cows haven't been, pasteurized, and they aren't going out and eating the pasture. Okay, I screwed that word up. But anyway, the grasses and getting the nutrients there. So if you do buy butter, buy organic grass-fed cow butter, and it has multiple vitamins and essential minerals in it. Another thing I've recently learned is about bone broth soup. And there seems to be a whole community of people out there doing bone broth soup. You can YouTube that. But basically, you go to an organic meat butcher or farmer and get bones left over from processing the meat, and you cook them for 24 hours, adding in some vegetables and stuff, and you create this bone broth. What happens is the minerals and everything comes out of the marrow of the bones, and provides lots of really good nutrients for you. Here's Kerrygold butter, avocado, coconut oil. Coconut oil is like the food of kings, man. That is so good for you, and it's You've got so many uses in it. I eat it just by the tablespoon. Here's a whole picture of different types of foods that you would be eating on a ketosis diet. Some people say, oh, 1 macadamia nut a day is really good for you. You know, and what I find is some of the benefits of being on a ketogenic diet, here's your coconut, are that you're no longer hungry. I'm just not hungry on this. You know why? Because I'm using my own body fat for fuel. So it's right there. It's always there. It's not like I'm eating the carbs and then I burn those off and they're gone. My body fat is always here. And so I have all day sustained energy because my fuel source is right on me. Kind of like having a little battery pack on your back of energy. I'm not hungry. You can, you know, eat an avocado for lunch and you feel full. Here's a tremendous change for this woman in using ketosis. Ketogenic diet, this is just a graph showing you, you know, that you do about 75% healthy fats. Healthy fats are not French fries and Crisco and Mazola oil and all of that. Healthy fats are all those pictures of foods that I just showed you. Here's a picture of the product that's available to help you go into ketosis in the first day that you take it. And how do we know that happens? You can use those urine strips to pee on to see if you're in ketosis. Most people will do that, and within an hour it's showing they are. You can also use a blood meter to figure out if you're in ketosis. This is somebody who used Keto OS from the company Prove It. Day 1, day 6, day 10. And you can see he's starting to get some definition there in his muscles. The other amazing thing about ketosis that is different from a high-carb diet, when you're doing a high-carb diet, you're actually burning up some of your fat muscle for fuel because your body's not getting enough. And so it starts eliminating muscle on you, which you don't want to eliminate. When you're using ketogenics for fat reduction, you maintain your muscle and people actually, you know, develop more muscle. This person was 5 weeks, no gym, no strict diet. July 26th to September 2nd. I'd say she's doing pretty good. Another one, July 25th. So she went to 825, almost 2 months. You can see that she's burned off quite a bit of fuel from her body. This picture's in here, Tim Tebow. You wouldn't know this hunk of a man is existing and fueling himself on ketones, but that's exactly what he's doing. Right there, it's showing you a picture of him putting butter and heavy cream in his coffee. This is Steve Welch. He is a publisher of a medical journal, has been for years, so he does tons of research. He has resources that he can look up anything as far as medical. And you can see the drastic change in this man from going to someone who's probably in his early 50s here to looking like Superman over here. And he's been using Keto OS for about 4 or 5 months now. This person had what I had about 6 weeks ago. I tried on a pair of jeans. I hardly ever wear jeans. I usually wear leggings because they're a lot more comfortable for me because I was overweight. And this is what I had on top of my jeans when I wore them. I could only stand to wear them for about 2 to 3 hours. I had to come home and take them off. Well, you can see what she's done in 22 days. She's burned off that little muffin top, they call it. And I had the same result. After about 27 days, I tried those jeans on again, and I didn't have anything hanging over the waistband. So it was really great. Here's another person. Just going to flip through these photos. Now, it's not all about fat reduction. It's also about all-day energy. It's about feeding your brain fuel to support it and help you with clarity of thinking. This person had a bad leg, and this is showing how burning ketones in your body can improve your skin. I don't even want to go there, but it looks like she's got cellulitis. I'm not sure. And this is Mike Rutherford. He is someone who's been using Keto OS for about 5 months now. And this is, he says he now feels like Superman. He just loves that he lost, what's he lost here? 17 and 47. Yeah, he said he's lost about 50 pounds. Here's another person who had psoriasis on her skin, and it took care of that situation for her because you're putting fats in. That is another thing that I did learn in college for my health minor, is that all of our cells, every single one of our cells, the substance that is in the cell membrane is fats. So it makes sense that we would need fats to restore those, right? It's another photo of someone. Look at the difference in her face. She looks like a different person. This is great for anyone who's a diabetic also. Diabetes is because your body isn't utilizing the insulin. It's not that your pancreas doesn't release it, it releases it, but your body can't do the uptake of the insulin to get the fuel in the cells. So when you're putting ketones in your body, it's not needed to have insulin. The ketones go in and fuel your cells. They fuel your brain. So it's really great for people with diabetes. The other thing that I've learned since studying this is that they're now calling Alzheimer's the third diabetic state. And it's the same reason that when you're burning carbs, your insulin isn't connecting them to the brain where it needs to be to function correctly. And when you put ketones in the brain, they just slide right into those cells and fuel them and give them what you need. I do have a video in our group page where it's showing a woman whose husband had Alzheimer's quite severely, and she started just feeding him lots of coconut oil, and he had a huge improvement in just 2 months. This man is amazing. There's actually another photo of him where he was seemed bigger than this. This says day 1, day 130, what he's done. I'm sure he feels marvelous. A company that creates Keto OS did come out with a cream for your coffee that has essential fats in it and creates a really yummy little thing for you to put in your coffee. And the other thing that I wanted to point out up here is, this is a website that I have that you as a customer will have if you decide to try some of the product to get your ketones. And then I was going to slide on over here to, I think I'm screen sharing, I hope. People messaging me. This is a group page that I started, and I'm sharing the videos. I share my story in here. I share the videos in here where I'm learning information, and sharing the pictures, all of the information. This person, she's been working out on my group page for days now. And you can ask to be invited to that. This is another great video that I have in here that talks about the first man who speaks on this video says, I started eating fats and I got a 6-pack. Who doesn't want a 6-pack, right? So let me go back, see if I can find myself here. There I am. So this may not have been the greatest Google Hangout in the world. It's kind of like a little fireside chat with Andrea. But I just wanted to introduce you to the concept and then offer you the option of joining the group page so you can get more information. So I'm going to let it go with that, and Happy New Year. I wish you all just blessings for the new year and good health, happiness, and prosperity. Thank you for coming.